With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and I have a confession to make. And it's probably going to anger a couple of you out there, and that's okay. I am a Rick and Morty fan. I know. I'm a Reddit intellectual, or something along those lines. I don't know where it's necessarily at right now, but ultimately, what? Like, the fandom has gone crazy, and this has a lot to do with the explosion that the show had between season 2 and season 3, when it was like in all facets of pop culture for the most part, at least online nerd-based pop culture communities. It was all wubba-lubba-dub-dub and things like that. You know, people out there trying to do their best Mortys, their best Ricks, so on and so forth. And as a result of that, it's got a bit swifty recently. And that kind of leads me to this particular story, because Dan Harmon was being insulted on Twitter, as Dan Harmon is prone to have happen to him. And someone basically says, well, quit wasting time and go finish the next Rick and Morty season, you lazy alcoholic. Run the Jewels can get the animators to make a music video, but we're waiting on them for the next season? Nah, we're waiting on you to finish writing it, like that fucking book. And in which case, Dan Harmon subsequently responds with, I hear ya, tough spot. On one hand, it can be challenging, especially with crippling lazy alcoholism, to write a show that hasn't been ordered by a network. On the other hand, the thought that fans like you pay the price, I mean, I'm gonna grab a drink. And that was a pretty, satiristic response from Dan Harmon, who may have been responding to another satiristic response. Who knows on the internet? Right? Words contain no emotion on Twitter, so you don't know if someone's being playful or if someone's being a dick. You never really know. But when it comes to Rick and Morty itself, what you have right now is, I would argue, maybe a division of the fan base, because you've got your hardcore OG fans that came in season 1, love season 2, and then they look at the newbies that coming in, the casuals, the normies, right? The meme lords that have come in between season 2 and season 3, those that went to McDonald's and were screeching for Szechuan sauce during that very poorly handled event, by the way. And you have to ask yourself, why hasn't Cartoon Network ordered another season, right? Like, that's the thing. Why haven't they gone and done that yet? And I don't get why, because according to Deadline, back in October of 2017, they said here that Rick and Morty season 3 sets ratings records for Adult Swim, saying that Rick and Morty has wrapped its 3rd season on top, delivering the highest ratings in the network's history and claiming the title of television's #1 comedy. So if it's television's #1 comedy and it's pulling in the highest ratings for Cartoon Network, why aren't they going and renewing for season 4? Now, it's a possibility here, and this is just pure theory and speculation, that the process of writing the show is taking longer than needed. Looking at a lot of what goes into writing the show and some of the stuff they try to explain, maybe some of the deeper meanings, the themes, the settings, things like that, they're taking their time trying to get it right. Whereas in television, you don't necessarily have that option. Netflix, you might have that option because they'll give you the money to get it right and give you the time. But with network television, or well, cable television, you don't necessarily have that. Fan bases will get restless and move on to something else. And there's even people out there that have criticized them for how slow they go about it. Now, I don't know. I'm wondering if it has something to do that the response to bringing on female writers in season 3 was going to maybe cause a problem if those female writers are gone and they can't bring anyone else in. There's always the reports of Dan Harmon and his, the Me Too movement and how he was called out for how he treated one of the writers on Community. He's apologized for it, but it's entirely possible that that could be controversial and Adult Swim doesn't want to deal with that. I don't know. I just find it weird that the #1 comedy on television during season 3, the records topper for Cartoon Network, and honest to God, a supreme fucking moneymaker, has not been ordered for a 4th, 5th, and 6th season. Cartoon Network is either stalling in order to let the Me Too movement pass by, let whatever controversy with Dan Harmon pass by, or there's something going on here, and maybe they've just decided they don't want to renew it. So they're not necessarily canceling it. They're just letting it sit in limbo. I don't think that's going to be the case. It's too profitable for them not to continue with. But it is also possible that if they choose to not continue with it, that it might go on to maybe something else. And ultimately, and this is kind of where it's at, if it goes to another network, if it goes to, let's say, Comedy Central, or it goes to Netflix or Hulu, they're going to be put on probably a bit more of a rigorous scale and have to crank out more than what they've been doing. Because at this point now, we're hearing that if season 4, the rumor currently is, if season 4 happens, it won't be until sometime in mid to late 2019. Fans will move on. That is true. When it comes to television, it's different than movies. Fans will move on. So whatever Cartoon Network is up to, they need to get their shit together, and they need to get working on season 4, or just let it die and let everybody move on. But either way, it's a very interesting situation, and I want to know what you guys have to say about this. Be sure to let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been 3 Buck Theater. If you haven't already, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, and check back often for more content from me. All right, everyone, I'll talk to you later. Have a great day, and peace out.